Hi everybody. So today I'm gonna try to do justice to Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. So I flew through this book and I was just so impressed about well, firstly, I was impressed at just how voraciously I wanted to read it. Like, I really wanted to get to the next page. I really wanted to finish it. So I finished it in 2 days, I think in the middle of the work week. And then I was just impressed at how he kept interweaving between his personal experience and then how that related to apartheid and the different policies of apartheid. So he would be explaining some kind of personal emotions or a personal anecdote, and then as he's telling it, he would explain how that whole situation was created by apartheid. So, it kind of... I'm not a big reader of memoirs, so unfortunately, I can't compare it to anything, but I loved how commonplace the tone was. It felt just like you were Trevor's friend and Trevor and you were just, chatting about his life. So it felt so casual, but then the way it was related to the history of his country, and also social phenomenon that affect South African citizens, you just kept feeling that this casual conversation was getting elevated into a more academic level conversation. Yet, even as you felt some academic elements coming in, it didn't feel confusing. I felt like I was being educated at the level of a college class, but at the same time it felt just like a casual conversation with a friend. So I've never experienced any kind of reading experience like that. So I think it's just Trevor Noah is good. But I think maybe kind of his job on TV maybe trained him for this kind of thing, because on his show he has to connect with humor, but then he also talks about politics so much. So I guess it makes sense based on his experience in the kind of writing he does for television, that he would know how to blend the everyday emotion, everyday experience with larger concepts, and with politics and with history. So I want to I earmarked some of my favorite parts, and I hope it's not too tedious, but I thought it would be cool to read some of my favorite parts. Yeah, I'm just gonna read okay, so first of all, his mother is very she's very amazing. so she wanted to have Trevor, but she didn't want to get married. So she just straight up asked this man whom she respected to have a baby with her. And like, it just blew my mind. Like, you know, she's like, traditional gender roles out the window. I don't care. Okay. So I'm gonna read this. I know that there was a genuine bond and a love between my parents. I saw it. But how romantic their relationship was, to what extent they were just friends, I can't say. These are things a child doesn't ask. All I do know is that one day she made her proposal. I want to have a kid, she told him. I don't want kids, he said. I didn't ask you to have a kid. I asked you to help me to have my kid. I just want the sperm from you. I'm Catholic, he said. We don't do such things. You do know, she replied, that I could sleep with you and go away, and you would never know if you had a child or not. But I don't want that. Honor me with your yes, so that I can live peacefully. I want a child of my own, and I want it from you. You will be able to see it as much as you like, but you will have no obligations. You don't have to talk to it. You don't have to pay for it. Just make this child for me. Like, what chutzpah? Like, yeah, that is the definition of this woman, I think, is chutzpah. Like, she knows what she wants and she just asks for it. Like, she's so cool. And like, that was an amazing thing about this book is that Trevor Noah, it felt like reading a feminist manifesto because of the honor and reverence he showed for his mother and her very fearless attitude. Like, so just like looking at her life as an example, like, it made this thing feel like a feminist book, like a book primarily about feminism. And like how cool is that? Like, a book written by a guy feels like a feminist manifesto. And like, and he was in this book, like, he never says anything like that. It was just my feeling, you know, like he states, like, in the dedication, for my mother, my first fan, thank you for making me a man. And then in the acknowledgements, he says, and finally, for bringing me into this world and making me the man I am today, I owe the greatest debt, a debt I can never repay, to my mother. So it's like, I think that sums up how this book is like, it's the first person he mentions in the dedication and the last person he mentions in the acknowledgements. And everything in the middle is like her character. Yeah, she's amazing. Especially, I won't mention that because that's a spoiler, but she's a very spiritual person, and her spiritual strength is displayed in something astounding that happens towards the end. But I can't spoil that. But yeah. So I feel like I'm kind of rambling, but and I earmarked other things to read. I earmarked, what is this? I earmarked a part about the abusive stepfather, but maybe I won't read that because it's a spoiler. Oh, and then he talks about the time he spent hustling, doing kind of like payday loans in his friend's neighborhood. And he talks about how he was working so hard every day, but he wasn't acquiring wealth, or he wasn't like able to go forward. So my camera shut off because my storage space was full, but I think it's perfect because the video had already gone for 12 minutes, and though I didn't cover everything, of course, I think you got a sense for, or you got a feeling for the book. So I think I just want to close it here and just say this is an excellent book and you should read it. And I think aside from reading it for the content and what you'll learn, I think if you're a writer, you should read it for the style, because I thought the style was equally as amazing as the content. So please, everybody, read this book and then share it with other people when you're done. Okay? Okay. Bye for now.